The distress signal pulsed through the void, rippling across subspace channels that had remained dormant for centuries. Aboard the galactic cooperative vessel Merciful Dawn, Captain Tal watched his crew's antennae droop in despair. Their ship, damaged beyond repair by a meteor shower, drifted helplessly at the edge of unexplored space. "Broadcast on all frequencies," Tal ordered, his translucent skin revealing the rapid beat of his 3 hearts. "Perhaps someone will hear us before life support fails." The signal spread outward, carrying their coordinates and a simple message: help. The crew of 36 Luvarians prepared for the long wait, rationing their supplies and powering down non-essential systems. Their species, evolved in the gentle embrace of a low-gravity world with perfect climate conditions, had mastered space travel through intellect rather than hardiness. They could survive another 14 cycles, perhaps 16 if they entered hibernation. What they didn't expect was a response within hours. "Captain," called the communications officer, "something is approaching. Fast." On the view screen, a formation of vessels emerged from hyperspace, angular utilitarian craft bearing unfamiliar markings. The lead ship was massive, bristling with what appeared to be defensive armaments and scanner arrays. "They're hailing us," the officer reported, surprise evident in his voice. The screen flickered, and Tal found himself staring at a being unlike any in the cooperative's extensive biological database. It had minimal protective outer covering, exposed facial features, and alarmingly dense musculature. Most disturbing was the gravity readout from their ship, 1.1 G. "This is Captain Reed, of the United Earth Navy vessel Dauntless," the creature announced. "We received your distress call. Prepare for assistance." The Luvarians exchanged nervous glances. They had heard rumors of such beings, Deathworlders, evolved on planets with crushing gravity, extreme temperature variations, and constant environmental hazards. Theoretical xenobiologists called them Class 12 species, though few believed such creatures could actually exist, let alone achieve spacefaring technology. "We accept your assistance," Tal replied cautiously. "Our life support systems are failing." Within minutes, a shuttle detached from the human vessel and approached the Merciful Dawn. The airlock cycled, and 3 humans entered wearing minimal environmental protection, just enough to prevent cross-contamination. They moved with a speed and surety that startled the Luvarians, seemingly unbothered by the ship's artificial gravity. "Engineering team," announced the lead human, a woman named Jones. "We need to see your engine room." Tal escorted them personally, watching in amazement as they diagnosed the ship's problems with swift efficiency. The humans communicated in short, precise bursts, their movements confident even as they navigated the alien technology. "Your antimatter containment is stable, but the propulsion manifolds are completely shot," Jones explained. "We can't repair this without a proper dock." "We would be grateful for evacuation," Tal said. "My crew can hibernate to minimize your resource expenditure." Jones looked puzzled. "No need for that. We'll tow you to Outpost 7. It's only 3 days at standard speed." "But the resource consumption is negligible," she interrupted. "Standard rescue procedure." What the Luvarians couldn't comprehend was that humans considered such assistance routine. The Earth fleet had responded not because of any treaty or obligation, but because that's what their protocols dictated. All distress calls were to be answered. As the Dauntless secured tow lines to the damaged vessel, Captain Reed invited Tal aboard for a meal, a diplomatic courtesy that terrified the Luvarian. However, scientific curiosity won over caution, and Tal agreed. The human ship was a revelation. While Luvarian vessels were designed for comfort and intellectual pursuit, the human craft was built with redundant systems, multiple backup generators, and emergency protocols for scenarios Tal had never considered possible. They had escape pods, pressure suits stored at regular intervals, and weapons, so many weapons. "You prepare for so much hardship," Tal observed during the meal, watching. Reed consumed plant and animal matter that would have poisoned a Luvarian instantly. Reed shrugged. "We prepare for reality. Space is dangerous." Yet you responded to strangers without hesitation. The void doesn't care what species you are, Reed replied. If we don't help each other out here, who will? The journey to Outpost 7 revealed more differences. The humans slept only briefly, worked in rotating shifts, and conducted combat drills even during routine transit. When a minor radiation leak occurred in the Luvarian vessel's cargo hold, 3 humans volunteered to enter the area without hesitation, protected only by what seemed to Tal like woefully inadequate suits. They'll be fine, Reed assured him. Our bodies can handle radiation better than most species. At Outpost 7, the Luvarians discovered they were not the first to be rescued by humans. The station housed refugees and travelers from a dozen worlds, all beneficiaries of Earth's peculiar insistence on answering distress calls regardless of origin. Before departing, Captain Reed presented Tal with a communication device. Next time, you're in trouble, call directly. We have ships patrolling most sectors now. Why? Tal couldn't help asking. What do you gain from these rescues? Reed seemed genuinely confused by the question. We've lost ships too. When we started exploring, nobody answered our calls. She gestured to the stars visible through the station's observation window. We decided that's not the kind of universe we want to live in. As the human fleet departed, Tal gathered his bewildered crew. We've encountered something unexpected, he told them. A species forged in hardship who uses their strength not just to survive, but to ensure others survive as well. The Luvarian Council would need to update their records. Deathworlders existed, and contrary to all prediction models, they were not the conquerors that xenobiologists had feared. They were the rescuers no one had thought to hope for. A peculiar trait, evolved from a harsh world, they helped not because it was logical, but because they could.